Again today, friend. Thank you for joining us. And we are looking this week at Acts chapter 2, verses 41 through 47. We are looking at a series of lessons that I've entitled, I Will. Let me remind you that the goal of every life is to bring glory and honor to the Lord. And as a Christian, the way that we do that is that we become good disciples. And I want to remind you that Christian living is neither accidental nor incidental. And so the words I will are words of intentional Christian dedication. And so in these lessons, I want us to be mindful that we need to be intentional in things. And so this week, we're looking at the subject of I will commit. And we're looking again at Acts chapter 2, verses 41 through 47. And I want to read those verses again. Then they that gladly received his word were baptized, and the same day there were added unto them about 3,000 souls. And they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, and in breaking of bread, and in prayers. And fear came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were done by the apostles. And all that believed were together, and had all things common, and sold their possessions and goods, and parted them to all men, as every man had need. And they continuing daily with one accord in the temple, and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart, praising God and having favor with all people. And the Lord added to the church daily such as should be saved. And so we are looking at the subject of I will commit. And as I said yesterday, commitment is something that is hard to come by in this day. Our attitude in society, and unfortunately even in the church, when it comes to the issue of commitment, is pretty poor. We can look at the world and we can see that in our times that there is a famine of commitment. And there's two areas that we could just point to and say, look, this is evidence of our lack of commitment. One is that of marriage. It seems that our commitment to marriage, we are committed to marriage until there's trouble. We ask the question in the marriage ceremony, will you take this person to be your lawfully wedded wife or husband? And of course we have all the others, in sickness and in health, and poverty, or in wealth and poverty, and good times and bad times. And the answer is I will. Now, for some, the correct and honest answer on their part would be I will until. There was a report that was released some time back that suggested that there had been a turnaround in the divorce rate. But when you look at it closer, what you find is really the divorce rate's not changed. It's just that people have stopped going through the wedding ceremony, and they're not getting married anymore. And so they have a problem with commitment. And then also we can look at being parents. There's a lack of commitment in being a parent. For a lot, parents think about that new baby and they think about the goos and the gaws, but they don't really consider the midnight changings and feedings, and being up with the child all night and sickness. And so some have just abandoned the idea of being parents because of the commitment level that is needed. And so look, the list could go on and on, but it's sufficient enough to say this, that there is a lack of commitment in society and in our day. Now, let's turn to the issue at hand, and that really is the commitment level of the church. And folks, what we could say is this: the church has lost a sense of commitment in this day. And I would ask you the question, in your own personal life, have you lost a sense of commitment to the Lord? What we see in this passage, and we will see as we dive into it more, is that these early Christians had a deep sense of commitment to the Lord Jesus Christ and to his church. And you may say, well, I'm committed to Jesus. Well, if you're committed to Jesus, I want you to know something. You're going to be committed to his church, and this is why. He's committed to his church, dear friend. I want to ask you, have you made this commitment in your own life that I will be committed to the Lord and to his church? That early church said, I will commit. I hope you're saying that as well. Listen, think about these things. Till the next time, may God bless you as my